Aries. Remember this date, October 15th, 2025. Carve it into your memory. This isn't just a prediction, it's your personal ultimatum from the universe. A point of no return. Imagine receiving an official letter clearly stating, the old, dilapidated house you've been forced to live in all these years will be demolished on this day. Irreversibly. But the keys to your new home are already waiting for you. It's like seeing boarding closing on the airport screen for that one flight you've subconsciously waited for your entire life. Ancient stone gates, locked for centuries and seemingly part of the landscape, begin to rumble and creak open. Do you remember the day you made the most important decision of your life? Perhaps you think it hasn't arrived yet. Well, this is it. 15 years of hell. 15 years of fighting invisible walls, tilting at windmills, battling yourself, are coming to an end. The universe isn't just closing this agonizing chapter. It's launching a 30-year cycle of total dominance, prosperity, and influence for you. We're not talking about minor improvements, not about tightening a few screws. We're talking about a complete overhaul of your financial operating system. Imagine running a marathon for 15 years with a heavy backpack filled with others' expectations, old grievances, and the stones of past failures. And now, someone isn't just cutting off that backpack, they're saying, now your task is to forget how to walk. Now you learn to fly. It's like a dried-up garden, long thought dead, suddenly being drenched by a powerful, life-giving rain, and, before your eyes, thousands of green shoots begin to sprout from the cracked earth. Have you ever felt you deserved 10 times more, but some invisible force, some glass wall, was holding you back? That feeling was real. And it had a cosmic reason. You are a powerful icebreaker, designed to shatter ice, but for 15 years, you've been trying to force your way through the Arctic, constantly hitting invisible underwater rocks. You lost speed, energy, and, worst of all, faith in yourself. It's that feeling when you're behind the wheel of a powerful car. You press the gas pedal all the way, the engine roars, but the car barely crawls. Because someone you can't see has been holding the handbrake on all this time. You were like a brilliant chef, forced for 15 years to cook exquisite dishes on a single, barely working electric hot plate, knowing you were capable of so much more. Like a mighty eagle, confined to a spacious, but still limited aviary. Every day you saw the boundless sky, felt the wind currents, but couldn't soar into it. Do you recognize that feeling? That quiet inner scream when you put in 100% effort, but only get 10% of the result? In this message, we won't just analyze the reasons for this stagnation. We will destroy it. We will go through 3 clear stages. First, we will carry out the dismantling of the old fortress, all your limitations. Then, we will achieve the awakening of the inner navigator, so you always know where to go. And finally, we will pass 2 exams of the new reality, which will grant you access to unlimited resources. This is not a lecture. This is an instruction manual for finding a treasure, where the treasure is you. I will give you a map marking 3 places where 3 keys are hidden. With these keys, we will together open the chest of your true future. Imagine a combination lock on a safe with 3 dials. We will sequentially, step by step, discover the number for each. Stay until the end to receive your new code, a tool for hacking reality. Ready to receive step-by-step instructions for assembling your new, rich, and free life? Then let's start right now. For this process to begin for you immediately, to declare your readiness to the universe, take the first ritual step. Write just 1 word in the comments, your main intention for the coming years. Freedom. Wealth. Project. This is your signal. Your activation. It's like pressing a big, red start button on the control panel of your destiny. What 1 single word makes your heart beat faster when you think about the future? Write it down. It's a simple action, but it holds the potential of a huge tree. Your word is the seed. By writing this word, you begin to say goodbye to the state of a tired warrior. Remember how many times in the last 15 years you started something with fire in your eyes, but the system, bureaucracy, superiors, or just circumstances extinguished that fire. It's like building a beautiful sandcastle at the water's edge. You pour your soul into it, but wave after wave comes and washes everything away. Like trying to light a bonfire in a piercing wind. You strike a match, a bright flame of hope flickers for a second, but it's immediately blown out. How many of your brilliant ideas died in a notebook without ever seeing the light of day? This was pressure on your very nature as an Aries. On your initiative, on your right to lead, on your speed. You felt capable of much more, but every surge forward met resistance, as if you were trying to run in viscous water. It's that dreamlike feeling when you need to run with all your might, but your legs feel rooted to the ground or heavy as lead. You, a born captain of an ocean liner, were assigned as a rower on a small boat. You see the horizon, know the course, but are forced to row to someone else's slow drum. Do you recognize that feeling when you have a sports car engine inside you, but you're only allowed to drive through the yard at 5 kilometers per hour? This feeling of powerlessness was not your fault or weakness. It was the result of a powerful planetary aspect that acted like a giant press. Imagine you've lived in a house with very low ceilings for 15 years and got used to walking hunched over. And now, I'm not just showing you the way out of this house, I'm handing you the keys to a palace. It's like finally finding and pulling out that tiny, but terribly sharp stone from your shoe that had been bothering you for years. A huge invisible hand that had been pressing down on your shoulders for 15 years is finally removed. And now I will explain exactly how it worked and why its power over you ends forever. Do you want to know the name of your overseer and personally escort them out the gates? Stage 1. Dismantling the old fortress. Now we will understand why the last 15 years were so difficult and who your invisible opponent was. We descend into the dark basement of your old house to find and switch off that main circuit breaker that has been cutting off power to your life all these years. Imagine a huge wrecking ball. It's already swinging to deliver the first, devastating blow to the wall of your prison. It's like in an old detective story when the detective finally gathers everyone in the living room to name the culprit. Ready to face the cause of your long-standing difficulties? Your overseer is called Pluto in Capricorn. But this was not an enemy. It was a stern coach who, since 2008, has been making you do push-ups with a heavy kettlebell on your back. Capricorn is the sign of systems, hierarchies, rules. And Pluto is the planet of total transformation through crushing pressure. This was not a villain. This was a very strict and taciturn grandfather who made you chop wood and carry icy water from the well every morning. It was unbearably difficult, but that's how, in silence, he forged your steel character. He was like a giant jeweler's press, slowly but with incredible force, compressing a piece of coal, turning it into the purest diamond. It's like meeting that teacher you hated in school years later, but now, looking at your life, you realize he gave you the most important lessons. Did you have an ordeal that felt like hell but ultimately made you invulnerable? The mechanism of this pressure was simple and harsh. Pluto was in constant conflict with your sun. Imagine you are a high-speed racing car, your Aries nature. And Pluto in Capricorn is a constant hurricane-force crosswind. It forced you to exert all your strength just to stay on track, let alone win. It's as if you planted a beautiful apple tree, your initiative, your projects, but someone placed a thick glass dome over it. The sun shines, the rains come, but nothing penetrates to your tree. It was like a partial solar eclipse that lasted 15 years. A huge dark disk constantly covered part of your inner sun, yourself. Do you recognize that feeling when you take a step forward and an invisible force pushes you 2 steps back? This aspect hit the most important things, your career, status, and sense of personal authority. It's when you wait years for a promotion, and it's given again and again. To someone else, less deserving. Or when you propose a brilliant idea in a meeting, you're not heard, and an hour later, the boss voices the exact same thought, and everyone applauds. It was like a game where everyone else had 6s on their dice, and you only had 1s and 2s. The rules seemed the same for everyone, but your chances of success were artificially lowered. Your career ladder, where the most important rungs were broken or simply missing, specifically for you. How many times did you have to shout just to be heard as a whisper? And this long-standing cry into the void left deep scars. Not on your body, in your very core. Constant external pressure made you doubt the most important things, your right to be first, your strength, your very nature. Imagine a dog kept on a short leash for 15 years. Even when the leash is removed, it's still afraid to move away from its kennel for a long time. This invisible leash was on you. Your inner light bulb, designed for 220 volts, operated on a weak battery all these years. It didn't burn out. It just forgot how bright it could be. It's that moment when you catch yourself thinking, is it even worth starting? Something will go wrong anyway. Have you noticed that you've become cautious where you once would have rushed into battle without a second thought? Thus was born your inner archetype of the tired warrior. It's when the battle hasn't even begun, and you already feel tired. Because subconsciously you expect resistance. You're used to it. It's when the alarm clock rings in the morning, and the first thought isn't new horizons, but, oh God, I have to overcome all this again. You're like a boxer who has been shadowboxing for 15 years. He's utterly exhausted, even though no real punches have landed on him. All the energy went into fighting windmills. Your powerful internal battery is completely drained because it was left connected to a faulty device that simply siphoned off all the energy. Do you recognize that feeling when you're tired not from what you've done, but from what you were repeatedly prevented from doing? And this gave rise to a second, even more agonizing archetype, the suppressed leader. It's an internal conflict where you clearly see how to act, you're ready to take responsibility, but external rules or someone else's authority tie your hands. Imagine you are the only sighted person in a room full of blind people confidently walking towards a precipice. You shout to them, "Stop. You can't go there," and they reply, "Don't tell us what to do, we've always walked this way." It's when you're in a meeting, you see the only correct, simple, and brilliant solution, but you're forced to remain silent because it's not your area of responsibility, or the boss knows best. Your leadership nature is a fire trapped in a cramped stove. It yearns to break free, it could warm the entire house, but it's kept under lock and key. And it begins to burn itself from within. How often did you feel this urge to just stand up and say, "Give me 5 minutes and I'll solve everything"? But this most difficult lesson was needed by the universe for one single purpose. Before we learn what invaluable gift lies behind these 15 years of trials, you need to perform one simple but very important action to finally close this portal of the past. Imagine that stern coach who tormented you for years is leaving, but leaves a locked box on the table. It's his farewell gift. But to open it, you need a special key that you must make yourself. The door to the past is almost closed, only a small crack remains. You need to perform one ritual to make it slam shut forever with a deafening click. Ready to learn what superpower you gained in these trials and take one step to activate it? Here's that step. I'm giving you a mini quest for the next 48 hours. Your task: find one item in your home that symbolizes this period of stagnation, struggle, or suppression for you. It could be an old employment contract, a photograph with people from the past, an unwanted gift you keep out of politeness. Find it, then get rid of it. Throw it away, burn it, give it away. Without regret. It's like pulling out an old, deeply embedded splinter. It might be tiny, but as long as it's inside, the wound won't heal. It's like finding a heavy, sharp stone in your pocket that you've carried for 15 years and finally throwing it into a deep river. It's a simple action, like deleting the number of someone who hurt you from your phone. But it brings immense relief. What one thing in your home constantly reminds you of what you want to forget? This ritual is not just cleaning. It's a physical declaration to your subconscious and the entire universe. This chapter of my life is officially over. Period. You are showing, in deed and not just in words, that you are ready to move forward without the old burden. It's like taking off old, tight, uncomfortable clothes you've worn for years and finally breathing deeply in new ones, tailored precisely to your figure. With your own hands, you untie the rope that held your boat to the old, rotten dock and set sail for the open sea. Do you feel how important it is sometimes not just to decide, but to actually do something to draw a line under it? By doing this, you will be able to accept the invaluable gift that Pluto left you. His gift is an unbreakable will and a steel inner core. By going through this unbearable pressure, you have gained a resilience that cannot be acquired in hothouse conditions. And it is this resilience that will become the foundation for your 30-year ascent. That stern grandfather coach is gone. But he taught you to chop wood so well that now you can split any problem with a single blow. He made you carry icy water, and now you can bear any burden. You have become like a blade tempered in fire and water. It went through hellish conditions, but now it is impossible to break. Have you noticed that problems that once seemed like the end of the world now only make you smile? The fortress of the past is dismantled. The foundation is laid. But in place of the stern coach Pluto, a completely different force arrives. A force that doesn't push, but whispers. A force capable of turning your boldest dreams into reality. We are entering the second stage. Imagine you spent 15 years learning to build with stone and concrete. And now a great artist comes to you and says, "Excellent. And now I will teach you to paint with light and build castles out of clouds." A bright, blooming spring replaces the harsh winter landscape. If you were told that your boldest dream is not a fantasy, but a detailed instruction manual for action, would you believe it? Stage 2. Awakening the inner navigator. Now let's talk about the colossal supportive force entering your life for the next 14 years. We just dismantled the old, clanking engine. And now we will install a new one, silent, powerful, running on pure energy of inspiration. Imagine a kind wizard entering your room, which previously had only bare walls, and beginning to paint beautiful, vivid pictures on them. Ready to meet the force that will not push you from behind, but gently take your hand and lead you forward? This force is called Neptune, and from March 2025, it enters your sign of Aries. It is a cosmic dreamer, a guide to the world of intuition and higher meanings. Its energy is the complete opposite of rigid Pluto. It is not pressure, but inspiration. Not rules, but flow. If Pluto was a stern weightlifting coach, Neptune is a wise swimming instructor. He teaches not to fight the water, but to trust the flow and glide with it. Instead of a stone press, a huge, colorful parachute opens above you, carrying you with the wind. It's like after years of working in a noisy factory, you find yourself on the ocean shore for the first time and hear its whisper. Have you ever felt that the best decisions come not from your head, but from deep within your soul? This inner voice will now become deafeningly loud. Neptune connects with your sun. It's as if an artist who spent 15 years drawing black and white blueprints suddenly gained access to the universe's entire palette of colors. Your intuition sharpens to the level of a superpower. You will simply know where to go, who to talk to, and what projects to launch. Imagine that the most modern navigator suddenly started working in your car. It not only shows the way, it predicts traffic jams, suggests the best gas stations, and even plays your favorite music. This navigator is your intuition. It's as if a powerful, crystal-clear radio receiver is switched on in your head, beginning to pick up signals and music from space itself. It's when you accidentally think of someone and they immediately call. Such coincidences will increase tenfold. What if you had a compass that always pointed not north, but towards money and luck? Thus is born your new archetype, the awakened pioneer. This is an Aries who no longer breaks down walls with their head, but feels where the door in the wall is. They act not out of stubbornness, but out of inspiration, guided by their dream, which now becomes their main compass. Before, you were a lumberjack hacking your way through a dense forest. Now you've become a tracker who sees secret paths known only to animals and birds. The path has become easier, and the goal closer. Instead of a battering ram with which you broke down gates, you're given a bunch of magical keys that fit any door. This is a shift from the question, "How do I break through this?" to "Where is the easiest and most beautiful path here?" Are you ready to trade a heavy hammer for a magic wand? The universe begins to speak to you in a new language. You will start noticing signs. Accidental coincidences will become regular occurrences. You will begin to have prophetic dreams, and the best ideas for projects will come as if from nowhere, in your soul or during a walk. It's when you're looking for an answer to a complex question, accidentally turn on the radio and hear a phrase that is the exact answer. Or see a sign on a billboard that hits the mark precisely. It's as if you were walking through a dark forest, and suddenly fireflies began to appear on your path, showing the way. Your task is simply to follow their light. The universe will literally start slipping you cheat sheets in the form of signs and sudden insights. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, "This is a sign"? Get ready, there will be dozens more such signs. These very signs are your new financial instrument. In the new era that is dawning for you, the biggest money will come not through hard work, but through the realization of big and bold ideas. Neptune gives you direct access to this universal bank of ideas. Before, you dug the earth looking for gold. Now you've been given a super-sensitive metal detector that accurately beeps where the biggest ingots lie. Less work, more results. Your dream is not just a beautiful picture. It's a detailed blueprint according to which the universe is ready to build your prosperity. One idea that comes to you like this, from the flow, can bring more in 1 year than 10 years of grueling employment. What is your boldest, most unrealistic dream? What if I told you that is your most reliable business plan? But this magical power also has a trap: illusions. If you ignore practical steps, you can simply drown in a world of beautiful dreams. Neptune is an ocean. It can carry you on its waves to new shores, but if you just lie on the water and dream, it will pull you to the bottom. To swim, you need to paddle. Your dream is a beautiful kite, soaring in the sky. But if you let go of the string, practical actions, it will be carried away by the wind, and you will lose it forever. It's that state when you've come up with a brilliant plan, but you've been lying on the couch for a week, getting inspired and doing nothing. Are you familiar with that feeling when you get lost in dreams, forgetting about real life? That's why the universe has prepared 2 exams for you. They will teach you to ground this cosmic energy and turn it into concrete, tangible results. But before we move on to them, we must understand why your personal transformation is so important for the whole world right now. What is happening to you is a small copy of gigantic global processes. By understanding this, you will get the key to the first exam. Imagine you are learning to surf and have finally caught your wave. But if you look around, you will see that the entire ocean is moving in the same direction. You are not just riding, you are in sync with the whole world. Your small stream flows into a huge, powerful river of global trends. Do you want to know how history and economics are now working for you and your dream? Your personal fight for freedom from systems perfectly aligns with what's happening globally. Old economic and power structures are crumbling. The enormous Titanic of the old economy, with its hierarchies and rules, is slowly sinking. And you are not a passenger on it. You are the captain of a new, fast, and maneuverable yacht. The world itself is looking for people like you, brave, independent leaders ready to act in chaos. Do you notice how many people around you are losing faith in banks, governments, corporations? In this new world, the rules of the game themselves are changing. The economy of personality comes to the forefront. Before, giant factories with thousands of faceless workers were valued. Now, a small workshop where one genius craftsman creates masterpieces is worth its weight in gold. And that craftsman is you. People are increasingly buying not from a company, but from a specific person they trust. Your name, your honesty, and your reputation become your personal currency, whose value is only increasing. What if your uniqueness is your main financial asset? Therefore, your task is not to fit into old systems, but to create your own. Not to look for a job, but to create jobs. Not to follow trends, but to set them. Stop looking for a place in someone else's orchestra. It's time to become the conductor and assemble your own. You stop being a brick in someone else's wall. You become the architect who designs and builds their own building. This is a shift from thinking, where can I find a good job, to what problem can I solve for 1,000 people and build my business on that. Do you feel the strength within you not just to play by the rules, but to create your own games? Theory is over. You understand the rules of the new game. Now it's time for the training ground. We've learned the rules of the road and how a car works. Now it's time to get behind the wheel and hit the track. 2 crucial exams await you, separating you from complete financial independence. It's like in a video game when you've leveled up your character, and now you're going to battle the first 2 bosses. Ready to prove to the universe, in deed and not just in words, that you are worthy of the promised wealth? Stage 3. Building a new reality. And we begin with exam number 1, financial chaos. We enter the first trial room. A very strong wind of change is blowing here, and our task is not to hide from it, but to spread our wings and learn to fly. Imagine an obstacle course where old, familiar bridges collapse right behind you, but at the same moment, new, completely unexpected paths appear nearby. Are you afraid of change, especially concerning money? Now we will turn that fear into your main advantage. This exam is administered by a cosmic revolutionary named Uranus. He bursts into your financial life with one sole purpose: to destroy everything old, fragile, and unstable. He will test your ability to adapt. Income sources that seemed eternal may suddenly dry up. But in return, opportunities you never dreamed of will appear. Imagine a mad inventor bursting into your quiet, predictable garden. He uproots your familiar potatoes, but, in their place, installs an automatic greenhouse where exotic and very expensive fruits begin to grow. It's a lightning bolt striking the old, dried-up tree of your income, but in that very spot, a fountain of pure water begins to gush from the earth. What if losing your old job isn't a tragedy, but the best gift the universe could give you? Here's how it will look in real life. Your boss calls you in and says, "We're eliminating your position." Your first reaction is panic. But within a week, you realize this is the sign, the push you needed to finally launch the project you've dreamed of for the past 5 years. Or a completely crazy idea for an online business comes to you, perhaps even in a dream. You're pushed out of a plane, but in the process of falling, you discover you have a parachute on your back and you can control your flight. That crazy idea could start bringing you 50 or even 100,000 rubles within 2 or 3 months of experimentation. What's the strangest money-making idea you've dismissed as unserious? The key to passing this exam is simple. Stop clinging to the old and familiar. Your main ally here is the very intuition that Neptune awakened. If your inner voice says yes to the craziest idea related to technology, the internet, or something completely new, act immediately. That's where your first million is hidden. You stand on the bank of a turbulent river. The old, reliable bridge has just collapsed. You are in despair. But your inner voice whispers, "Look, 20 meters away, there's a ford no one knows about." The key is to trust that whisper, not to stand and mourn the collapsed bridge. Are you ready to trade a stable but small 50,000 rubles for risky but potentially million-dollar opportunities? To pass this exam, you need to master 3 simple rules of the revolutionary. Rule 1. Don't build one large, unwieldy ship. Build a flotilla of 3 or 4 small, fast boats. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Uranus demands experimentation. Create 2 or 3 small streams of income. One of them will eventually turn into a full-flowing river. Instead of one thick cable that can be cut with a single swipe, you will now have many thin strands feeding you energy and money. Imagine, your main job brings in 100,000. You start an expert blog and within 3 months reach an income of 20,000. Then you launch online consultations and get another 30. Your dependence on your main job has decreased by 50%. What hobby could you turn into a source of at least a small income next month? Rule 2. Your main asset in this era is yourself. Your name, your reputation, your energy. Stop being a faceless employee. Become a master. People are willing to pay more for a chair made by Master Ivanov than for a chair from a faceless assembly line. Start to show up. You light your personal lighthouse. Ships, meaning clients, partners, and opportunities that are looking for your specific light, will sail to you themselves. Start writing a social media post once a week about something you're good at. Just 4 posts a month. That's a start. If your name were a brand, what would it mean to other people? And rule 3. The most important. Uranus teaches you the main wisdom of the new era. The only stability is the ability to change. Stop looking for a quiet harbor. Become a surfer who catches the wave of chaos and enjoys it. Stability is not a concrete slab that can crack. Stability is the ability to maintain balance on a tightrope swaying in the wind. Flexibility is the new stability. A tree that bends in the wind survives a hurricane, while a rigid and unyielding one breaks. Next time something unexpected and bad happens in life, ask yourself one question: what new opportunity does this open up for me? Ready to embrace unpredictability? Excellent. You've learned to catch the wave and create opportunities from chaos. But for these opportunities to turn into a long-term empire and not remain a one-off success, you need to pass the second, most important exam. The maturity exam. You've learned to find mushrooms and berries in the forest. Now it's time to learn how to preserve them, plant your own garden, and build a house. You've found a gold mine. Now you need a plan and tools to build a mine and extract that gold for years, not just collect a few nuggets from the surface. Do you want your success to be not a bright flash, but a steady, warming fire for years to come? Then get ready. Exam number 2, Architect of Destiny. Saturn enters the stage. And he comes into your sign not as a strict overseer, but as the best and most expensive foreman in the world. He won't do the work for you, but he will check every brick and every blueprint to ensure your building stands for centuries. Saturn hands you not shackles, but a compass, a ruler, and a trowel. Tools for real, grand construction. Are you ready to move from chaotic experiments to creating something truly great and long-lasting? Saturn will ask you, do you want to be a one-hit rock star or a legend for all time? This exam is about discipline, responsibility, and strategy. It will require you to transform your Aries impulse into a long-term plan. Your Aries impulse is the spark that ignites the fire. Saturn's discipline is the ability to constantly feed that fire with wood so it doesn't go out. You transform your fast, but short sprint into a measured and thoughtful marathon. This is a shift from, let's try it, to, let's make a plan for a year and stick to it. What's more important to you, instant gratification or long-term, fundamental success? Saturn will demand that you become the CEO of your own life. This is the necessity of officially registering a business, hiring a team, and learning to trust others. It's the ability to forego quick but dubious profits for a greater goal. It's the moment you realize you can no longer do everything alone and for the first time hire an assistant. You stop being merely a craftsman in your workshop and become the director of a factory. You plant a tree. This requires patience and care, and the fruits won't come immediately. But in a few years, it will feed you and your family. What boring adult task have you been putting off for a long time? Registering an LLC? Managing a budget? To fail this exam means to succumb to Aries impatience. To try to get everything at once, ignoring the boring but important steps. It's like building a house without a foundation. On the outside, it might look beautiful, but it will collapse with the first strong wind. The boring steps are the foundation. It's when you get your first big profit and, instead of investing it in growth, you spend it all on an expensive toy. It's an attempt to assemble a complex piece of furniture, throwing away the instructions and half the fasteners because it'll do. Do you often abandon what you started halfway because it gets boring? The key to passing both exams is in their unification. In synthesis, imagine you are the captain of a large ship. Your dream, given by Neptune, is your guiding star. It shows the direction. The favorable wind of change from Uranus is the force that fills your sails. And the sturdy helm and precise map in your hands, which will keep you on course, are Saturn's discipline. You are preparing a dish. Neptune gives you divine inspiration, the recipe itself. Uranus throws in unusual spices and new technologies. And Saturn ensures you precisely follow the measurements and cooking times. Are you ready to become not just a dreamer or an executor, but a master who wields all the tools? Here's the first practical tool for this. Let's call it the rule of 1,000 days. Make a commitment. Dedicate exactly 1,000 days to your main project. Don't expect results in a week or a month. This is a marathon. Saturn loves those who respect time. You plant a bamboo seed. For the first few years, you water it, but see nothing on the surface. It seems like it's all for nothing. And then, in a few weeks, it grows dozens of meters. Saturn is about that patient, daily watering. 1,000 days is a little less than 3 years. It's a negligible price for the foundation of the next 30 years of your prosperity. What one project are you willing to pursue, even if you don't see quick results? And the second tool, so you don't stray from this path. Create your personal board of directors. Find 2 or 3 people whose experience you infinitely respect. This could be a mentor, a coach, or just a wise friend. And consult with them regularly. Saturn is about wisdom and structure. Stop acting alone. Even the most brilliant general has a war council. He makes the decision himself, but he listens to those who understand maps or logistics better. Once a month, call or meet with someone who has already walked the path you are just beginning. 1 hour a month can save you years of mistakes. Who are the 2 or 3 people in your circle whose advice is worth gold to you? You have passed both exams. You have learned to create opportunities from chaos and build lasting castles from them. You have completed basic training. You've learned to shoot and march. Now you are given your first combat mission and a precise map of the area. You have received your diploma from the University of New Reality. It's time to write your main project, your personal plan for the first, most important year of your 30-year journey. Ready to move from theory and learning to creating a concrete roadmap for your new life? Here is your final assignment. Your main quest for the next 7 days. Take a piece of paper or open a blank document and write the heading, Project of My New Reality for 1 year. This is not a business plan. It's your personal manifesto. It's like writing a letter to Santa Claus, only you're writing it to yourself and the universe. And you know for sure that everything you write will begin to come true. You are the architect who sits down with a blank sheet of drafting paper to draw the blueprint of your dream home. Dedicate 1 hour next Sunday. Turn off your phone. Just 60 minutes to program the next 365 days. If you knew everything you wrote would come true, what would you write? Your blueprint will consist of 3 simple parts. Part 1, Neptune's Dream. Describe in the most vivid colors, without any limitations, how you envision your life exactly 1 year from now. Allow Neptune to speak through you. Imagine you are a child in a huge toy store, and you've been told, you can choose anything you want. Describe that anything. Paint with words the most vivid picture of your ideal day a year from now, who you wake up with, what you eat for breakfast, what project you're working on, how you feel. If money and others' opinions didn't matter, what would you be doing? Part 2. Uranus's Experiments. Now write 3 to 5 bold, perhaps even strange steps you will take to realize this dream in the next 3 months. You've marked your destination. Now lay out 3 to 5 unusual, short paths towards it. Not a highway, but paths. For example, I will enroll in a course on neural networks. I will conduct 3 free consultations on my topic. I will write to 5 potential partners, even if I'm terribly afraid of rejection. Throw these 3 to 5 pebbles into the water and just see what ripples they create. What one action that scares you the most could bring you closest to your dream? And Part 3, Saturn Structure. Here, describe 1 single key habit you will implement to maintain discipline. This is your contract with Saturn. These are the tracks you lay for the train of your dream, because without tracks, even the most powerful train won't go anywhere. It's a small but strong anchor that will keep you on course every day, even in the strongest storm. For example, every morning I dedicate 1 hour to my project before starting my main job, or every evening I spend 15 minutes reviewing the day. Something very simple, but regular. What one small, daily action is guaranteed to lead you to your goal in a year? And now, pause for a moment. Look back. See the transformation you've just undergone. It's like finding a photo of yourself taken a year ago and not immediately recognizing yourself. Do you remember who you were at the beginning of our conversation? A tired warrior, banging his head against the wall of Pluto's system. A suppressed leader whose cry went unheard. And now you are an awakened pioneer who hears Neptune's whisper. A surfer who has ridden the wave of chaos from Uranus. You stand atop the mountain you've climbed for so long, looking down at the path you've traveled. Do you feel how your state has changed since the beginning of our conversation? You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. Your strength is now not in breaking down walls, but in seeing doors in them or creating your own. You have ceased to be a pawn on someone else's chessboard. You have become a player who sees the whole game and decides where to move. Mentally shed the heavy, battered armor of the warrior. They no longer serve you. And put on the comfortable and elegant suit of the creator. Next time you face a problem, your first thought won't be, why me, but what is this for? How can I use this? Are you ready to take 100% responsibility for your life, knowing that you have all the power to change it? Then remember the promise we started with. A 30-year cycle of wealth, influence, and freedom. It has already begun. And this is not a fantasy, but a natural result of your inner work. It's not a miracle. It's your harvest, which you've earned through 15 years of trials. You plowed stony ground, you planted seeds, you nurtured the sprouts. You stand before the open door of a treasure vault. You don't need to break it open. You've earned the key. Do you believe you deserve this? After all you've been through? You have the map. You have passed all the trials. You have collected all the keys. Only one step remains. The most important moment of our conversation. To formulate and say aloud your new code, 3 words that will become your mantra, your program, your amulet for the coming decades. You stand before a mirror, and you are about to make the most important vow of your life to yourself. Ready to receive these 3 words that will become your main weapon on the path to success? Here they are. But before you hear them, just grasp the journey. We started at the darkest point, in the feeling of Pluto's 15-year prison. Together we performed a ritual of liberation, awakened your inner navigator with Neptune, and then passed 2 challenging exams of flexibility from Uranus and maturity from Saturn. We disassembled the old, broken mechanism of your life, discarded rusty parts, and installed new, powerful elements. From a caterpillar trapped in a dark cocoon, you have transformed into a butterfly ready to spread its wings. Do you feel this readiness in every cell of your body? Then here is your new code. Repeat it. Meditate on it. Live by it. My will, the foundation. My dream, the navigator. My freedom, the result. This is your personal crest, depicting the unbreakable rock of your will, the precise compass of your dream, and the soaring eagle of your freedom. Write these 3 phrases on a piece of paper and hang it in the most visible place. Let them be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see before bed. Do you feel the power contained within these words? Remember that one word you wrote in the comments at the very beginning? Freedom. Wealth. Project. That was the seed. Everything you've learned during our conversation is the fertile soil and living water for it. In the beginning, you lit one small candle. And now we have ignited a huge, warming bonfire from it. Your activation is complete. Do you feel how that first word, your intention, has been filled with incredible power and meaning? If you have come this far and are ready to accept your new code, take the final step. Write just 2 words in the comments. Code accepted. Let this be your public declaration. Your signature on the most important contract of your life. A contract with the universe for your success. And send this video to another Aries who needs to hear this. By lighting your torch, you pass the fire to another. The fire doubles, but your own torch only burns brighter. Your new reality begins now. Ready to press the final button?